When I was a young boy, I was always fascinated with armies, whether it be the paratroopers of World War II, the knights of medieval times, or the stormtroopers of the Galactic Empire. Militaries, and to a larger extent, war, has been at the forefront of my interests. As I got older and read more about different wars and time periods, whether real or not, a thought always hung in the back of my head. I want to fight my own battles. I want to command armies. I want to see my enemies flee from the field of battle. I wish I could do that. Well, ever since I built a new computer, now I can. Rome Total War was a real-time strategy game released in 2004 by Creative Assembly. But we're not talking about that one. No, we're talking about Total War Rome Remastered. Was that a mouthful or what? The remaster itself was released in April of 2021, so I'm not exactly first into the fray, I'd say. Doesn't matter. This game scratches an itch I've had since I was a child, and I love it for it. I mean, just look at this. There are 17 different factions to choose from. You want to play as Carthage? Play as Carthage. How about Armenia? Play as Armenia. Do you want to play as the Gauls and form a French empire before Charlemagne and Napoleon? Yeah, sure, go right ahead. Unfortunately, most of these factions are not available at the start, except for the 3 Roman houses. Not the Senate, however. You're not allowed to play as the Senate. To unlock the other factions, you have to defeat them in the Imperial campaign. But if you want, there's an option in the startup window to enable all factions. The game has a certain loop, or formula if you want to call it that. Consolidate your current holdings, build up your forces to attack your neighbors, conspire against your neighbors with their neighbors, attack said neighbors, crush those neighbors beneath your feet, and repeat. It's a relatively simple loop, but it always keeps me going. But you don't always have to conquer. The game also has diplomats, which you can send out to negotiate with other factions, perhaps for map information, trade rights, alliance, bribery, or you could just say, pay me money or I'll kill you. Or if you don't want to send your soldiers in blind, you can use spies to investigate enemy cities before you attack. The game also has you managing said cities that you capture, so that they're kept happy and well defended. If not, either the invaders will force you out, or the people will. Usually if you want to, you can just conquer half the world and take Rome, and then you win, or you could do what I did and conquer the whole game map as the Germans. Which is a bit extreme, but I had fun. And that's the problem. This game is too much fun for me. I find myself playing it for hours on end. Seriously! I spent over 50 hours on it in the month of December alone. Why can't I stop playing this game? Perhaps it's the sense of accomplishment I get from forcing the enemy out of a stronghold, or when I march into Rome itself and destroy the guiding light for the Roman families. Or is it perhaps when I outwit my enemy to make them think I am going one place and attacking their undefended city while they're off besieging one of my own cities that I already knew they were heading for, and I timed reinforcements to arrive specifically when the enemy begins the siege, so I send them running from the field of battle with the blood. Wait, where was I going with this? The Imperial campaign is fun in its own right, but say you want to relive history and potentially rewrite it. Well, if that's up your alley, drop the campaign for a bit and check out historical battles. Each battle begins with a cinematic made in the game's graphics, giving context to the battle at hand. Once the battle begins, however, you aren't given a grace period to set up your forces like in the campaign. You are thrust into the combat and have to think quickly before your forces are crushed and overrun. Sometimes you outnumber the enemy, sometimes the enemy outnumbers you. After playing a few battles for this video, I can see the appeal. But what if you just want to crush a peasant horde with any unit you want? Oh, baby. This is where the fun begins. Custom battles. That is the realest shit in the game, baby. Gimme. This game mode is how I was introduced to the Total War series, back on my cousin's old desktop. Every single unit in the game is at your disposal. You already saw some footage of it from earlier in the video, but crushing a peasant horde with a single unit of barbarians is kind of fun. Or attacking them with an army of dogs, or elephants, or screaming lady. You get the gist. Any battle you can think of can be simulated. My current favorite is setting up a phalanx or two at one end of a bridge, with at least 9 archer units behind them, and just letting the enemy try to push me back. Every time, the phalanx holds, and my missiles pick off the enemy bit by bit. Yeah, there's no way you're getting through that without artillery. Nice try, bucko. If I had to describe this game in one word, it'd be, Crap. I don't know. There's so much to say about it, and it's almost impossible to boil down to one word. And then there's still the expansions I haven't talked about. But that should be saved for another video. Now that I think about it, I could probably boil this game down into one sentence. Rome Total War steals my time, and I don't care.